All right, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the latest episode of the Slamburger and French Fries podcast. This is Brandon.
This is Johnny.
This is your special guest, me.
Nobody knows who you are.
That's Trish.
I know, right?
God.
That's Trish.
The queen of just not giving details.
Right.
She gives directions by pointing.
Right.
Go there.
Where?
No, not there. The way that I'm pointing.
God.
Whose
Don't
turn?
listen to what I say. Look at what I'm telling you.
I gotta watch the road.
Whose turn is it? You know nobody can hear your hand up, right? All right. So we skipped a week, unfortunately, and Ryan and Steven could not be here with us. We're recording this on Mother's Day. They care about their wives and their mothers, so...
Yeah, mine was fine with missing a movie, getting crap service at Red Robin, and going to the boat and blowing her money.
Yeah.
So, bonus for me.
That happens.
And then this is her gift. She
Hey.
gets to be
Yeah.
on here with our beautiful, sultry, sexy voices.
Snort.
That's rude.
We don't snort things anymore.
Yeah.
You learned that as a child.
Yeah. So we are going to be covering, in this episode,
A whole
covering
slew of stuff.
the April 30th edition of Raw and the May 1st edition of SmackDown leading into Backlash. Don't laugh yet.
That'll be a whole episode unto itself.
Exactly. So with that, let's kick things off.
Let's get going.
Yeah, April 30th edition of Raw kicks off with, of course, the poster boy for Raw, Roman Reigns, coming out to a slew of boos.
Yeah,
In a very Canadian arena.
Yeah, there's a couple areas that really take control of Raw, and I think they only really do live shows in Canada once a year, if I remember correctly. Once or twice a year. They don't go very often.
Yeah, I want to say they do maybe 2 or 3 major cities in Canada, but they mostly keep it to North American soil.
Yeah.
So
they're always hyped. I mean,
Hold on, I just want to... They keep it to North American.
I
Canada
meant-
is part of North America, though,
no, you're right. I thought about that immediately after I said it.
Nobody cares.
But yeah, so United States. I apologize. With that, with the immediate edit, thank you, wife. Where were they? They were in.
I think wherever Sammy and Kevin are from, Quebec, Montreal.
Montreal.
Yeah, they were in Montreal.
I was going to say,
Thank
because
you.
they were speaking French, and Toronto's not in that
Yeah.
general vicinity.
Yeah, so we'll get to that part here in a second. Roman kicks off the show.
Much to everyone's dismay.
Right.
Yeah, we covered that.
Starts getting pissed about the call at the end of Greatest Royal Rumble. Saw that there was a discrepancy in the finish with Brock Lesnar.
Which he is technically correct. I mean, it's always been, if they do the escape the cage, it's the first 2 feet to hit.
Yeah.
Which, with the way the cage landed, Brock's big old muscly back was the first thing to hit, and Roman rolled off and his feet touched.
Yeah. I do love the fact that WWE refs, in the last couple discrepancies, have taken to Twitter to post their thoughts or their feelings on it. So I thought that was a nice touch to where you're actually hearing from the referees directly.
Yeah, I mean, and once I watched that back, because I missed it the first time, but I caught the recaps. Excuse me. I really don't blame the ref for just calling what he saw, because Roman looked like he damn near broke his neck. Like, no matter how you feel about the guy, that was a really, really scary, gross fall. And Edge kind of talked about it on their podcast, The Edge and Christian one.
Never heard of him.
Oh, never? Okay. There's 2 really cool dudes who reek of awesomeness.
I'll listen.
Yeah.
Like, stupid amount of awesome.
Yeah,
But
I have no idea.
Either way, it was...
I don't watch Spanish television. With that, though, I do think that we're going to gloss over that. I do think that
We're going to tweet that at them just to let you know.
Yeah.
You might want to insert your apology here.
yeah, sure. They'll have to come all the way up from Mexico to here to fight me, though. So that's up to them.
All right. Finish your thought.
With that, though, I like the fact that the refs have talked about it on their personal Twitter accounts, and it's kind of bled into the shows. They made sure to mention it.
So it's really nice to kind of see now that because they only have so many refs, so they're kind of always the same. So now getting them like, hey, this is why I did it, especially in the era of social medias and the Twitters and all of that. Like, this is why I did what I did.
Yeah.
Here's why I did it. It, like you said, it really just kind of ties it all together and brings it back.
For sure. And then, so Roman is showing his displeasure over the call, to which Samoa Joe interrupts via Titantron because I think Joe is SmackDown.
Yes.
So
basically he
wasn't able to be there in person.
Yeah, he before the Superstar shakeup when he made his return, they kind of continued their beef with Roman because Roman was still on the train that keep putting Lesnar in front of me. Eventually I'm going to beat him. Da 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 da.
Right.
Comes back around to Joe's comeback where he's you haven't beaten me. I'm gonna whoop your ass come Backlash when you're done with all this.
So
and then he gets
have
drafted.
Yeah, so they have to keep the heat going between Roman and Joe. But with the draft, I thought it was going to make it more difficult, but they've kept it going.
Yeah.
And then, so Joe interrupts via Titantron, and that leads into Jinder coming out and challenging Reigns in person.
Yeah. And he got a better reaction.
Yeah.
But he's also a Canadian boy, too.
Yeah. So that was a nice little touch. Then, what surprised the hell out of me?
God.
Well, I wouldn't say surprised, but made me feel so good was the fact that despite Zayn and Owens being portrayed as heels on television for a while now, Zayn came out and the place erupted. Like his music hit and the place erupted.
Well,
and he kind of like slinked out, like, oh my god, like you feel that.
He's like 20 minutes from where they were.
Yeah.
He's the one that's like the true quote unquote hometown boy.
Yeah, and they said Owens lives like a 45 minutes away.
Yeah, he's a little bit out.
Not enough to count at the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and it was really cool. Like they spoke in French and kind of played it up, but then still just flipped to character. And it's the same thing as when Punk was doing his heel run and would show up in Chicago.
Yeah,
like he's supposed to be a bad guy, but they're gonna erupt for the hometown boy.
Yeah, right.
So that's always a tightrope to walk.
I like the touch that Zayn came out and he said, "Let me just talk to my people for a second," and went into French and got them going. Never did the whole like, this town is a piece of trash or talk down the hometown like the hometown boys that are heel normally do.
Yeah.
Just kind of came out, said, "This is for you. Now back to your regularly scheduled program." And then got in the ring and maintained the Zayn he's been going with as of late, where it's kind of like the goofy kind of Weasley character, and then hits a moment of quiet, and then Owens' music hits. Owens came out, and at first, like you could see on his face, like he was trying so hard to like, not break a smile, not
keep
give
that
anything.
kind of stoic look.
And then he let it go for a minute, and then immediately into French. I was like, all right, there it is.
Yep.
Give them something, and then right back into regular scheduled programming.
Yeah.
That then, of course, grew into some back and forth between the heels and Roman.
Well, at this point, Roman might as well be a heel.
Yeah.
And that's...
I don't even think that's the thing, though. A heel gets booed because their character has made people hate them. Like, the heel is formed into something, like, that they are bad. Reigns is just, like... I don't think you can count them as a heel because he's not a heel. He doesn't do anything. You cannot put him over any possible
they keep giving
way
him
around.
Stuff, and he just can't get over it.
He's not getting the reaction. I mean, it's something that
people are tired of.
Yeah.
I mean,
4 WrestleMania main events in a row.
Well, it just
there's some stuff I've seen that we can get into later.
I tell you what. If they just turn him already. Like let those boos work for them, or make them work for them.
I think they tried that though when
cheer him as a heel.
No.
I think they have to accept though that they've got to let him like.
Not in this day and age.
You think as a heel, they'd be like, all right, you're a heel, yay,
because that's what everybody wants.
They want to cheer the heel?
Do you not like? Yeah, like everybody goes crazy for Owens and Zayn. They're heels, supposed to be.
Right, but people don't cheer them because they're heel.
I think
they cheer them
still
because
cheer
they
them,
enjoy
though.
them.
Yeah, so you want them to be face.
What? No. What?
Then why are you cheering them?
Because I enjoy them.
But
I don't enjoy Roman, so I'm going to boo the fuck out of him.
Nobody enjoys Roman.
That's not what a heel is supposed to do. You're not supposed to get an enjoyment out of a heel. And that's just how things have changed. I'm just nitpicking.
You still boo that person, but you still appreciate what they are. People boo, like, Kevin Owens because he's a bad man and he comes out and says bad things and he's
Right.
weaselly and stuff, but they still appreciate the character.
Right. I applaud his wrestling ability. As far as his character, it's like, oh yeah, you're getting booed because you walked on the flag or you did this or you did that.
You shouldn't applaud him at all. As a heel, you shouldn't.
But as an adult person that makes my own decisions.
That's what I'm saying. We're getting into super, like,
all right, well,
old school, new school, crisscross territory.
I was going to say, we can
fight
Roman Reigns
this out
for like 7
off the
episodes
pod,
and never
or
come
we
back.
can just have an episode where we hash this out.
For sure.
So press forward, Kevin Owens is the next one out.
You shut your mouth.
Yeah,
Eat a dick.
You're a passenger.
The first cuss.
No, I said
I'll
the
be
F word.
all of them.
I said the F word. And you're a passenger in this car. You don't drive. Okay?
Put your
Right
ass in
now,
the trunk.
nobody's driving.
This
so
is how it works.
This is a limousine. You
We
sit
have
in the back
17
seat.
episodes to
you
record
ride
tonight.
along.
That's
You
fine.
most certainly
I ain't
do
got to work
not.
tomorrow.
Right.
You don't have to be on all of them.
Alright, so moving along, that quickly develops into a match with Lashley and Strowman coming out and making the save. And that
I think we skipped way further ahead.
No,
calm
it's
down,
still
be
part of
a
the promo.
passenger. You're trying to direct. Okay, so Lashley and Strowman come out, make the save, which develops into a match for later on in the show.
For the
There
main
we go.
event.
I feel what you're saying.
Oh, sweet mother. With that, they go to commercial break. They clear the ring while they're advertising diapers and the latest Nickelback album and all that.
Look at this photograph.
Oh my god.
When they come back,
The only people hate it as much as Roman Reigns.
they come back from commercial, and you've got Elias versus Bobby Roode, which I think could be really,
Really solid.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
could be,
definitely.
because you got Elias playing the grungy, like the
Hobo.
grungy character, the grungy vagabond that he is now, and then versus Bobby
The
Roode, who's
classic,
glorious,
yeah.
flashy character.
They need to have Rude go to his bad guy persona.
Yeah.
The very similar to Flair, suits, all of that. It worked. I just like that better, but that's just my opinion.
No, absolutely. I think if anything, a lot of people are kind of banking on, since over on SmackDown really didn't do much.
Yeah.
And coming to Raw, it's like, okay, man, like you've either got to build steam up quick, or we need to do something and just uproot you and turn you heel altogether. Because I think the general consensus is him sticking with the glorious Bobby Roode gimmick is more Vince's call.
Him sticking with the music and coming in as a face, because what works on NXT and in development, so he could still be his cocky character, but people would sing his entrance and get into it.
Yeah.
Vince did. He's like, oh, well, they like that entrance and doing all this. All right, well, he's got to be a face. If they're going to go bad, he's got to lose the music.
Right.
Similar to Shinsuke changing his music, he's got
sure.
to take something away.
Yeah.
So
I think at this point, though, it's wrapping right back into what we've said with Reigns. I think Vince is underestimating like how people view and look at the quality of heels and faces. They can still love Bobby Roode as a heel. Like, yeah, they'll boo him, but they can still love him. The music doesn't make him.
Yeah.
And it's like we said, it's not all about like, well, this person has to be face, this person has to be heel. To an extent, yes, but there's always those subtle shades of gray that I think sometimes Vince just throws
Glosses
out the
over.
window.
the last subtle shade of gray that worked was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
That's the last.
No, don't get me wrong, that worked